So today I figured I would make a video. I know I have not filmed on my gaming channel in quite a while. My technical channel has been quite a bit more active than my gaming channel because, quite frankly, I just never really had the motivation because due to college and all that, I have just had little to no motivation to make videos as a collective whole. But I have been addicted to this one game, and this is called PC Building Simulator. As you can see, I've got like a 4.75 rating, which is good. I'm level 24, so that means I unlocked, like some 20 cards instead of, just the 10 series, which, nothing wrong with the 10 series. They're still phenomenal. So, I figured I would film a few tips that I have up my sleeve that can help you down the line. First of all is listening to the customer's wishes. Let's go to email. Alright, let's go to repairs for my PC. Alright, so they say there's something wrong with my PC. Let's just say a cup of soup and computers do not mix. Is it the motherboard? So first of all, if it did not say replace the motherboard and replace graphics card here, you want to look to see what inside their computer, is their motherboard. Alright, so first of all, you want to look at the motherboard. You'll want to order one of those. It's, as you can see, it's one of those shoddy, and I don't mean, the S word, but, just a shoddy looking board. It's your standard OEM, Dell, HP, Pavilion, friggin' crap board. But, as you can see, that's the board. They want it replaced, and they want to have an affordable, time. So, the next thing is they say, my brother has Gigabyte in his PC. He says they're the best. I think I clicked on something bad. Now, there's two things you want to take into account here. Their budget and what other possibilities there can be as far as broken components. Now, Gigabyte, they make power supplies. They make some CPU cooling components. They make some they make some graphics cards. Alright, as you can see, Gigabyte, they even make RAM too, I believe. They make RAM. Alright, but like I said, you want to take their budget into consideration. Alright, so even if it did not say replace graphics card, there's a few capabilities here. A few possibilities on what has gone wrong with their PC. So, you want to first of all think about their budget, alright? Which this guy, as you could see earlier, he had a GTX 1050. So as you can see, this is the 1050 Ti. Let's go ascending. As you can see, he has this card, alright? That's $120. Now, let's look at his board. H170 Fortune X. Alright, so 120 plus 190 is 310. Alright, so that just about, it's still below their budget. You could give them a little bit extra, which is why I went with a 1050 Ti. It's already ordered, it's in the mail, but still, it could easily be the power supply too, but you also want to keep their budget in mind. Alright, budget is key here. Gigabyte. Alright, so as you can see, the power supplies, which I'm just going to buy one because, I do need some, power supplies here that are half decent. This is an easy way to make quick cash. Alright? Very quick cash. Alright? Now, another tip. you always want to look. Now, as you can see, I'm level 24, so your parts list will differ than mine. I know that for a fact. Your parts list will look different, alright? They have gigabyte solid states. You know, you want to keep their budget in mind, though, and you need to also keep in mind, let's say, let's look at this person's storage device. So, they're using a Western Digital Blue. They say Martini, but I'm calling it a Western Digital because that clearly looks like a Western Digital. I mean, look at it. I mean, you've got like the blue at the top, blue at the bottom. Look, like it even like has the label, like what they would put on there. So these are some things that you want to keep in mind. Now, let's look at the back. Let's look at the last part. I think I clicked on something bad. Alright? Now, let's look at my programs. Alright? I'll keep this open for later. Let's look at add or remove programs. Now, let's pretend that this was the customer's PC. If they say that they clicked on something bad, they will have a virus. Which, I don't even know why I'm using a crappy SSD. I should really be, but you would, just restart the machine. I prefer just pressing P and P. Oh, man. Facebook. Oh, God, my desktop is showing. Alright. Whatever. I've got nothing to hide. So what you would do is you would install this. You would make sure the PC is, monitored and protected, which I'm going to remove this because this is my personal PC, not a client's PC. So you would then, boot up your computer, again, because they say so. Run a virus test, alright, on that customer's computer, shop, PC Bay, which I'll keep that for later because that's another tip I will be discussing in this video. You have the Market app, which I'll keep that open, put that on the back burner. And then there was one more. What was it? It was Will It Run? That's also another one. So, now, as you can see, that's just an email I have, That's a PC building simulator. You leveled up. I'm going to keep that because I don't even know what half the things are. So, this next email that I have says, I need repairs. Hi, I need some repairs. It's a bit of a mystery. Can you figure out what's wrong? My son got inside with a screwdriver. Now, let's pause right here because there's several things that could be going on. Let's look at their parts list, and let's look at their budget. Alright? First of all, you want to look up their board. Alright? You want to look up the EVGA Z270 Classified K, which is what they have. Alright? Their budget's, $400. This costs $300. Now, there are fancier boards that you can get for this budget, but you always want to go with the original board because you're replacing it. You're not doing an upgrade here. Because let's think real life here. If you could save your client like a few dollars, alright, chances are they're going to have a higher probability of coming back to whatever PC shop you theoretically own. Alright, because if they want a replacement, they want a replacement, not an upgrade. You don't want to exceed their budget because let's say maybe their air cooler's broken. Their Silverstone HE01. Now, a lot of things can happen. So I've already purchased the RAM. I've already purchased the RX 580, and I did not purchase a hard drive or solid state, but I have plenty of solid states, relatively inexpensive, just lying around. So, a lot of things here can be wrong. Now, I have like 70 of these fans, which, that's an exaggeration, but I have a bunch that are new, and I figured I should share this with you. So, it could clearly be the VGA board, considering that their budget's $400, this costs $300. Now, this Asus Ares Strix RX 580. Let's go to graphics card. Asus, so you want to look it up. Asus Ares. Alright, Strix Radeon RX, Strix Radeon. What was it? Alright, NZ540. Alright, 580. So this is their card here. I also bought this because this is an easy possibility. Alright. So it says diagnose and fix. Alright. So this basically means that, these are some key things that can be wrong here. Now, the RAM could even be bad, but there's some expensive memory inside of this game. Like, let's just look like price descending. Alright, you see, the most expensive RAM here is 3600 megahertz at 32 gig. Alright, that is a lot. So, I'm not trying to talk in a sarcastic tone, but I just want to point out these things because a lot of people, like me, go on YouTube looking this stuff up, and they don't really watch tip videos like this. Let's continue with the email. I'm going to need it in 2 days. Alright? This is plain and simple. You just gotta get the job done by 2 days. Alright? At the latest. It seems a bit dusty inside. Now, since this is a diagnose and fix PC, I have had this happen to me several times. Alright? It's very annoying and pretty stupid, as it is kind of like a request, not really a demand. Like, dust out my PC. Give it a cleaning. I'm gonna get popcorn and watch you clean it. No, that's not how they would be in real life. Alright, it's just a request. But PC Building Simulator, the designers of this very game, decided that it is like you would absolutely have to dust out their filthy PC that they left on the floor for 5 years, and just dust it out, alright? Because otherwise, there is a possibility that this will not diagnose and fix, even if you find the broken part inside of this computer, alright? And you just go and look like, alright, I'm gonna give it a quick dusting, not gonna give it too much love. No, you have to get every last drop of dust. You need to inspect the PC carefully. Now, I cannot struggle enough with telling you about this stuff, because I have had this happen to me so many times where there's that one hard drive bay or that one area by the power supply that is dusty. Now, the last thing inside of this email that is, very important, it's, kind of like the last one where I think I clicked on something bad. It's not as quick as it used to be. Now, you may think that it's an aging hard drive. If you think that, you're wrong, but correct at the same time. Hard drives age. That's why in 8 years, hard drives fail. They get bad sectors. They pull files slower because the needle's wearing out. Alright, but in this game, you put all logic aside and you assume it's a virus. Alright? Now, let's go to tomorrow, which I guess I'm gonna check out because I have like 5 of these and I need them. Alright, so next day delivery. Let's go here and let me make sure I accepted all the jobs. Alright, in transit. Alright, that's good. I'm gonna put this up here. Now, let's work on their PC. So as you can see, a bunch of stuff is arriving. Go to work, collect the stuff, get this guy's PC. As you can see, this is the guy with the dusty PC. Take this off. The first thing I do is I always dust it out. Alright, now I'm gonna not blow up your eardrums with this. But, you know, I just figured that I would make a video where I would just inform you about this. So what you do is you blow out the PC, which, as you can see, this guy, he clearly let this thing sit on the floor for like 17 years. Alright, now let's power it on and see what happens. Alright, so the first thing that I would do, because it's the easiest thing to do, is I would pull out the power supply. Unplug everything. So you pull out this, drive bay cover, pull out the actual drive bay, kind of holdy-any thingy, and you go to PC parts. Alright, it's not a power supply. Let's pull out the RAM. Let's see if it's the RAM. It's not the RAM. Let's pull out the CPU cooler. It's not the CPU cooler. Like I said, you want to consider all options that can be there. Now, let's pull out the solid state wires, the front panel wires, just all the wires for stuff. You want to pull out the card. Let's check our inventory. It's not the CPU, obviously, because how could a friggin' screwdriver penetrate a CPU cooler? If it didn't even go there in the first place, because the Silverstone HE01 is fully functional. It's not the card, it's the board. We found our culprit. So, let's unscrew. Now let's go to motherboards. Alright, as you can see, I have quite a few in stock. EVGA, Classified K, Chevy Innie. As you can see, I have the automatic screw tool, which you can eventually buy, which I recommend it, 10 out of 10. So now let's go to PC parts, which I recommend doing because I used to just go to, the CPUs because, that's just kind of what made sense in my little head. Of course, you want to thermal paste it like you just saw me do. You want to put that back in. You want to, undo those clips. You want to put this back in. I'm trying to move fast here because I'm trying to keep this express. That way I can get things done. And, teach you guys a little something. And, just kind of entertain you guys at the same time. So let's put the drive bay back on. Let's put, the drive bay, just the PSU shrouds and PSU stuff. Let's put this back on. Let's put the beauty panel back on. Let's put the side panel back on because we're all done here, I believe. So now what you want to do is, as you can see, it says diagnose and fix. Like I said, viruses. If there's a virus on this machine, now I will not boot up off of what do you call it? I will not boot it up off of the I will not boot it up off of a hard drive because it takes 10 years. Even if I have to write a new boot sector, it'll still get this project done. Which, as you can see, there's nothing in the solid states. It's going to have to write a boot sector. So, let's just put on virus scanner. And since, as you saw there before, I overclocked the CPU, so now let's just, reboot. Let's let it shut down, and let's let it start up, which, as you can see, this is diagnose and fix. Alright, but I need to run the virus scan. Alright, overclock. Let's make sure that the overclock is stable, which it very well should be. There we go. I don't know why he keeps coming up as restricted. It makes no sense. Alright, so as you can see, that is what you do. Alright, you always want to take their budget and the parts that they have inside the PC into account. Because even though we got lucky, alright, and it wasn't the card, I mean, still, I mean, there's always going to be that one guy that has an RX 580 for some reason, which that's not good overclocking, which I'll talk about more in a second. Now, repairs for my PC. Help, repairs needed. Alright, as you can see, you know, I don't know why. You know, I'm actually gonna boot it off of the hard drive. Because it could easily be on the hard drive. I don't know what's going on here. HDD. Huh. This guy had several cables. Also, you want to, like, diagnose and fix. Which I think is the reason why this has, shoot, whatever, I'll just slap that on. Now, you want to put the thingy in there, because it could easily be on the hard drive, not on the solid state, but that would make no sense, considering it would spread its way onto the solid state, realistically. So you want to reboot that thing. As you can see, I have some cache, but not much. Alright? But I'll show you how to regain cache very quickly, and actually make cache in the making. So as you can see, files infected, 524, we fixed it. Now it should say diagnose and fix, we fixed it. Now you want to close that. Now don't worry, you're not gonna, you know, leave the customer with your, what do you call it, your little disk. So now you want to collect the payment from email, get this guy out of here. As you can see, I followed everything, including the virus scan, including the dusting. Alright, so since we dusted it, number one, and we gave it a virus scan to get rid of the viruses, alright, now this guy will come back again and leave a 5-star review, even further improving my score. Good job. So, as you can see, a lot of these people, they also frown upon used parts, which we will see in some of these emails. So, repairs for my PC. You want to replace the board and replace the card, which is easy enough. A lot of people like these EVGA cases. Can't blame them. EVGA rocks. So you want to just, you know, pull everything out. You want to, you know, replace that. It's a GTX 1050. I already know that. But you always want to make sure you're installing the right part. Which I chose a TI variant because it's just, I'm sorry. Having a 1050 in, like, even 2018, that's just sad. That's just sad. The 1050 Ti, though, is a good card, not the 1050. So, as you can see, these are their parts in here. Now, there is a glitch, though. If you pull apart someone's PC because they need a new CPU, and you pull off their cooler, you would have their cooler underneath CPU cooling, which I don't know why I have these, you know, still sitting around here. There's no reason for them to be here. You know, sometimes it'll just be all the way at the bottom. Your most recently interacted part will be at the bottom. So you want to get the graphics card. Motherboard. You need to get the motherboard, which, as you can see, that is the broken board. I have the Fortune X. Alright, you put that in. Now, then you just put the CPU in. You put the CPU in. You close it. Put thermal paste, you put the cooler. Hope I'm not going too fast for you guys, but I'm just trying to keep this, you know, just straight lined, if you know what I'm talking about. So, then you put in the RAM stick, and then you put on the side panel. Oh, actually no, I haven't replaced the card yet. Alright, so you need to replace the graphics card. This is the, no. Where's the 1050 Ti? I know I got one. There it is. So we have the 1050 Ti now, and let's power it on, and let's see if it boots the OS. Now, I don't know what your attention is, as far as, literary and stuff like that, but this guy did say it has been running slow. Alright, so we're going to wait real patiently for old Miss Daisy to write files onto this computer, so I could scan the computer. And now it's time to turn on, because, you wait for it. Wait for it to turn on. Then you do a virus scan, it'll find dirty files, and then, even though it was more of a request, saying it's slow, you really have to do it, though. So let's put it in the delivery area, and now let's collect the payment. And as you can see, a 5-star payment. A 5-star review. Look at that. And let's remember, this person liked Gigabyte. Alright? So whatever part it is, of course you have to take the budget into account. But you need to get the board that, that costs pretty good. Alright, so now let's just discard of that email. There's no reason to have that. Now, let's do a build. Now let's do a build. Alright? But you know what? That's really just following the customer's request again. So instead of me doing another build for the customer, I'm going to show you guys how to easily make money. Alright, and I'm about to check my PC Bay, which is basically like eBay, but I guess just for PCs. So we're going to throw in one of these boards. We're going to throw in that. Alright. Now, you may be wondering why I'm just randomly building a PC. It'll all make sense in 5 seconds. So you put in the Core i9, alright? You put in, I don't know. Let's look at CPU cooling. Let's use one of these fancy new AIOs. These all-in-one coolers. Alright, now something I do want to mention is if you get a customer that wants like a 3D Mark score of 6,000 or whatever, and you only have crap parts, you could still pull it off with just the CPU or the GPU. But one thing I want to show you is that this board has like a max speed, max memory speed. This is the same board I put in, of 4,300 megahertz. So let's put in some 3,600 megahertz, RAM. Let's then put in a nice bit of storage. Let's put in the Gigabyte solid state because it's quick, and I'm trying to get this done because I know I may have lost quite a few viewers already. This is how to just make cash quick, really. You want to put in a power supply to actually turn on the computer in the first place. Let's put in an RTX 2070. So you're going to get rid of these two, you're going to shove this in, and then you're going to open that panel so you could insert a power supply. So I'm going to put in an 850, or nah, I'm just going to put in no, not a 650, that's nowhere near enough power. You don't want to underpower computers either. That's always something you want to avoid. So you then want to power her on, and you want to hop into the BIOS. First of all, you want to see what the temperature of the CPU is currently, which, as you can see, this AIO cooler that I got is only a 240 instead of like a 360 or 380 or some big cooler, which is kind of sad. So as you can see, the stable, the stable clock for this is, 3,600 megahertz. So now there's a way you could get away with, making the CPU do more. So instead of having it at 3,600, let's bump it up to 3866, 34,000. Let's just try that. Let's bump it up to 1.65 volts, and let's apply changes and restart. Now it's going to like write the operating system real quick because it's an M.2. Phenomenal with file transfer. Alright. I'm going to put on GPU tuner. Alright, I'm going to put on the overclock stability test, and then I'm going to turn off, turn on. Now I'm going to let it run, and when it runs, I'm going to turn this on, because if it crashes right away, it's going to be RAM instability. Because right now, everything in the computer is being load tested, including the RAM. So now we're going to, tweak it a bit. I'm going to tweak that. Alright, now this is the #1 way to make money. Alright? This is the #1 way. What you want to do is, first of all, increase the RAM speed, even if this CPU cannot be overclocked much more. You can still increase the RAM speed and get far superior performance, while also not, having your system kill itself by being overheated. So now this will all make sense in 1 second. Now, let's look at the statistics right now, because I think I found a pretty sweet spot for an overclock, but I'm gonna push this because screw it, full send. I'm redneck. Gonna push that hard. Gonna increase it overclock. Gonna push it a bit harder. Let's push it to 140. Oh, I guess 139. I guess, I don't know. 139. There we go. So now let's let that run. Okay, so now we're going to let that run. And you're going to see that it will tap out at around like 95 point something. As you can see, the card is running hot, but that's okay. Now, let's look at the resale value. The resale value of this said computer is currently at $993. Now, that's not the parts I put in, it's the resale value. What consumers would pay for the computer with the current performance output. Now, what you want to do after this is you then want to open up 3D Mark and you want to run it. Now, as you can see, that RAM overclock is doing it's doing a good job. So you want to let 3D Mark run, and I'm just gonna let you guys watch it, or maybe do like a little speed up thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna stay quiet though, so you guys can see what happens. Alright, so now I'm back. This is done being time-lapsed. And as you can see, I have a score of basically 9,000, let's call it. Now, that is pretty good. Alright, that's a good score for 3D Mark. Now look at the PC's value, resale. Alright, $2,576. Not bad. So you then slap it on the bay, and you then just throw it in. Oh, missing cables. What? Missing cables, that's crazy. What cables am I missing? Oh God. I'm just gonna chop this part out because now I need to redo 3D Mark. All because of that. So while that is running, I'm going to look at these emails. Now, let's look at new PC. Alright. Can I trust you to build a decent computer? I really want to get that decent FPS in Farming Simulator 17 by tomorrow. Alright? It's got to be done by tomorrow. It's got to be out the door in the, little delivery area, collected by tomorrow. So he wants Corsair. Luckily, I can provide, because I think I have a Corsair case lying around somewhere. I should have one. I don't even know if the PC's new or not. So let's take the Corsair. Where's that Corsair case? Is that seriously the last one? Shoot, I think I have more than one Corsair part though. Let me see. So you always want to work with the customer. You want to give them what they want. So as you can see, this is a Corsair power supply. All right, I've got Corsair lying around. So you want to have this computer play Farming Simulator 17 recommended specification by tomorrow. Now, this is Will It Run. It'll tell you if this will work or not. So, as you scroll through these, you want to look for Farming Simulator 17. Now, Farming Simulator 17, you just want to click on it. Okay, I'm just an idiot. Alright, recommended spec. You want at least a half-decent card. And at least a half-decent CPU. So, the expectations don't have to be much. The horsepower will not be much. But, of course, I'm going to be, putting more horsepower than I need in it. Now, I know that's a used case. So, let me just go over here. Let me go to shop. Let me get the cases. Let me get, I don't know, the price ascending. Because I just need, let me just get a Culling Stronghold. Let me just get a bunch of those. Now let's do same day delivery. Now this is pretty costly to do, but now back to the PC Bay. I just want to show you the power of it. This is a 1080 gaming, alright? You can easily flip this, so you just want to go through this. You want to look through, you want to get, all of these, older, things that are used. You want to get the used board because this is for Coffee Lake and it's a pretty decent looking board. Then you want to get the RAM because I love having RAM lying around. Now, as you can see, I have had auctions going on. Look at my cash now. $964. Look at my cash and I'm done collecting my auctions. How am I doing here? I think pretty good. So, you always want to use PC Bay because as you can see, these are all of the listings that I have. It's a used RX 570 because I was doing PC Bay. It was this computer right here. It had a I put a 1060 in because it'll do significantly better in PC inside of 3D Mark, giving it a higher value. So, yeah. Anyway, I just put like old used stuff on here. Like I always do that because it works. Now, let's take one of these. Alright, let's put it here. Alright, this person wants it to build, wants it to play, Farming Simulator 17 with the recommended specification. So let's hop over here. Let's get this out. Let's get the motherboard out. Let's see what CPUs I have. Does he care about used parts? Okay, yes, he does. He worries about used parts. When they say I worry about used parts to get the highest rating, alright, you need to use what they want. Now, I'm going to see what CPUs I have because I have some AMD and I have some Intel. So I'm going to get an Intel board because that's what I have an abundance of as far as, case fan getting in the way. Maybe that's why I stopped using those. So, yeah, as you can see, I have that. I'm going to open the CPU cooling area, the CPU little cage, and I'm going to slap that in. I'm going to put the high performance thermal paste. I'm going to get the CPU cooling. Going to remove the front panel for some reason. Unlock that, get rid of the fan, and install an all-in-one cooler. I'm going to go and, just put in some crapo RAM, which you obviously want to take everything inside of this will it run into consideration. It only needs 4 gigs of RAM, so I'm going to put in 8 gigs. Alright, so you always want to take those regulations into account. Now I'm just going to put in some cheapo RAM I have lying around because I don't really want to put a lot of RAM, like when they're asking me to just meet like the bare minimum specs, because then you're just wasting your own money really. So I'm going to put in 8 gigabytes of, oh my god. Now I know why I don't build with these cases, because they suck. Alright, so gonna put in this as I was. Now I'm gonna get the CPU cooler back on. Remember to thermal paste. You always want to remember to do that. But you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna put in some crappy air cooler. I'm done. Screw that. Gonna put the case fan back in. I think that's what I had in here. Gonna put that in. Gonna put that in. Gonna put not that in yet. I'm going to get storage. I'm gonna get a cheapo solid state. Gonna slap it in there. Going to put the thumb drive in because I'm almost done here. Alright, now we said no used parts, so you gotta remember that. No used parts. So you go into the graphics card area, you look around, you need at least 6 gigs of VRAM, and I'm just gonna put in this 580 because I don't know if that's gonna be enough or not. Then you take this side panel off, you slap a power supply in, which you wanted Corsair. Remember, give them Corsair. I cannot stress that enough. It's a mistake that I have made on several occasions, and I don't want to see any of you making that. So, even though this RAM only revs up to 3200, let's, push that from 3200 to 3800. Let's put that at 1.65 volts. Let's restart and let it write the operating system. And then just do an overclock stability test since I gave him faster RAM. Because he should be thanking me for that. Normally I would, throw 3D mark, I'll throw GPU tuner, but I'm just telling you what you need to do in order to get the bare minimum done. So I'm just trying to keep that, I'm just trying to stress that as much as I possibly could. Because when you use their preferred brand, they'll leave a better review. Alright? They just will. Alright? So now let's just let it run. If it crashes, I back down on the speed. You see? It crashed. So I back down on the speed. RAM overclock. Let's back that down to 3733. Now let's see if it's stable. Because some of these RAM sticks overclock better than others. I don't know which ones specifically, but some of them overclock better. And you always want to use this little tool here to make sure it's stable. Because if you don't, you're asking for trouble. You always want to back down slowly until you get a stable speed. You don't want to just throw on max voltage. You don't want to up it to like 2 volts and, have it running at like 4133 because that is really pushing it. As far as, man, I am so tired of these notifications. Turn off. Thank God. So, as you can see, it's a stable overclock because, the CPU's doing things, the GPU's doing things, the RAM's doing things, it didn't crash. So that means that this system is now stable and you can, throw the side panel on, throw the other side panel on, put this thingy in the thingy. There we go. So you want to get that build out of the way. Let's collect. And I get a 5-star review because I did what they wanted. Alright, now there's this wacko, this crackhead. Always talking about this. I'm not even gonna, like, even read that. But basically that's what that's what there is to it. I mean, you get a good, 3D mark score. Alright. And you get a good, you get a good price as far as resale value. Oh, yeah, this PC is not complete. Gotta put this on. Now I could put it on PC Bay. And like you saw with those other PCs, in 5 days, it will be giving me some value. Now, the last thing you need to know about, the market is you want to open up this market tracker if you have it, alright? You always want to save some funds. I cannot remember how much this program was, but it was cheap enough for me to get it. Like, I only recently got, like, the extra USB stick at, like, level 23, because, I mean, I had the money to burn, and I figured, why not? Because it never really was a problem, but long story short, you always want to, like, just check this out. Of course you don't have to have it full screened, but you always want to see what's going on here. Now, a trend that I have noticed is these PCs, alright, on the used market on PC Bay, yours truly, which is also a tool you have to buy, I believe. I don't know how much it was. It wasn't that expensive. But I think it was like $500. I can't remember. But you always want to do it once it's available, because this is the quickest way to just make cash. Like, I remember, doing days worth of labor in order to buy out, some of the company. So, yeah. So basically, my point is, just think. You gotta think, alright? And you gotta follow the chart, which, as you can see, it's above average right now. And the rest of these, it's basically the same crap. Just follow what they want. If they say the PC's dusty, that can be taken off as far as stars. If they want you to use Corsair as opposed to Gigabyte, as far as, just stuff. Alright, put in a Gigabyte power supply. It's the cheapest way to do it. You don't have to, like, have a Corsair case, a Corsair cooler, a Corsair power supply, a Corsair solid state, a Corsair fan. No, you only need one part. So just remember this. I'm trying to train you guys for when you have this. Anyway, I figured I should share that information, because it's just, this information I wish I knew earlier when I started playing. Now, I just figured I would share that with you guys, and that's all there is to it. Anyway, I'm going to go edit this video, and I'm going to talk to you later. Hopefully this channel rejuvenates, because I need it. Because I play so many games, and, well, quite frankly, I never really have, many viewers. But, whatever. I was doing Minecraft as a cringy, like, 13-year-old. That's the last time this channel was active. So I guess I'm gonna go film, like, a welcome back video. Like, kind of like that, just saying, hey, thanks for sticking around, kind of like that. Yeah. So, anyway, that's all there is to it. I'll talk to you later. And, as always, have a nice day. Bye.